to the Boondocks Homestead. Hey, today we're gonna make some zoodles with some venison, but you all can use beef, okay? So let's get into this because I've been busy. I've been working my tail off all day, y'all. And so I'm like, it's right at the last minute. Tim just called. I'm on my way home. He's hungry when he gets home. So I have got to get this going, right? I'm hungry too. So I don't even think I had lunch today. I don't know. So anyways, I'm going to get you down here where you can see. As Tim would say, I'm a stepping and a fetching. I don't know. I never know what that really means, but I like that saying. He always says that. I'm a stepping and a fetching. He's got all kinds of little sayings, he says. Okay. Now, listen. I'm going to use venison because that's what I have. Let me put you back up here. You know I got to see you when I talk to you. I'm going to use venison, deer, because that's what I had in my freezer. And the way the prices are with ground beef, or with any kind of beef, it's crazy. It's crazy. I mean, and it's not just the stores, it's everywhere. It's everywhere. You know, beef has just really went up. So when I can use venison from when we hunt and stuff, then I do it. I'll do it because we like it. So, but if you don't have it, don't stress. Just get you know, if you've got it. Actually, the original recipe, I told you, I always tweak stuff for me, right? Okay, so I've tweaked this recipe. I've had it for years. And I've tweaked this recipe to fit Tim and I and to do what we like, right? So the original recipe calls for ground beef, but I think that's kind of boring with this recipe, ground beef. I just think that would be kind of boring. But if you want to try it, go ahead. But I've got strips of venison, and that's what I'm going to use. And you could use strips of beef tips, beef fingers, whatever you call them, beef, you know, or get it off the roast of the beef. That's kind of what I did with this, got off the roast part, okay? All right, so don't stress over what meat you got. Just don't worry about it. Just, I should have had this fire going. Now I'm going to turn this fire up quite a bit, okay? Let me get the light on. I hope you guys can hear me because I don't have my mic on. I didn't charge it. And that's the story of my life. Okay, hold on just a minute. Okay, I had to get my tongs here. I'm going to let this warm up a little bit for a minute. And then I'm going to put this meat in here. I guess I can show you what I did today. I made, well, I've been doing a lot of things. You guys are crooked. Okay. So I've been to town. Had to go to town and run some errands. And then I come back and I had to do all my sweetbreads for the weekend. And then I made 3 jars of cowboy candy. 3 jars of it. That's all I had on my garden. And it's like, well, I'm going to do something with them before they go bad. I freeze a lot of them. I always freeze a lot of them, and I use them when I freeze them. But if I can do them fresh and do some cowboy candy, then I do. Because I put that in my bread and stuff, you know, and we like it. So then I come over here, and I did that, and I've been running back and forth from here to the house, here to the house, here to the house. And because I don't have all my stuff over here, so I have to go to the house and get some stuff. And I don't like doing my videos at the house anymore because it's so dark. And it's so light over here. And you can just see better, I think. So I like doing my videos over here a little bit better. So, anyways, I had to go over there and get, I needed some bone broth. And if you guys have never made bone broth, I'm going to have to do a video on that. It is the best stuff. Not only when you're sick to drink it, but I mean, it's just good in everything. Like, I use it in a lot of cooking. I do rooster broth, chicken broth, bone broth, vegetable broth, you know, you name it. I'm not going to throw that stuff away. I'm going to make some use out of it. You know what I'm saying? So I do. Okay, it's getting warm. I'm going to go ahead and put my meat in here. I'll put you down here where you can see. Get you a little closer. And I just put some olive oil in the bottom of this. Now, that's a big piece there. Oh well, I'm not going to worry about it. So listen, I'm just going to do a pound of this, okay? And that's about half of what I got. I got about 2 pounds. So we're gonna do the recipe for a pound, okay? So I'm gonna put this in there. Just a little bit more. I'll put just a little bit more. That should be enough for me and Tim. And then I'll do something. Then I'll do something with that tomorrow. Okay. Yes, I talk to myself sometimes. Don't panic. It's me. It's the way I am. Now, I'm gonna tell you what I'm gonna put in here. Now, there's some onion over here. I got some Cajun seasoning because Tim likes Cajun, okay? I've got some oregano, dried oregano. I got some pepper, some Redmond sea salt, and I got some smoked paprika, and I'm going to put this recipe underneath this video, and some garlic powder, okay? I've got all those, and I'm going to just give this a little swirl here. It's been setting for a little bit. And I'm just going to put it all over my meat, okay? Now I've got one garlic clove cut up. I'm going to put in there. One small onion. Now, this is optional, okay? So this is some of my jalapeno pepper that I cut up with my cowboy candy. And I'm not going to use all of it because I'm going to use a little bit of it for garnish. I'm just going to put a little bit in there, okay? Now I'm just going to let this cook. I need something else here, I think. And you guys, you could just use your imagination. You could put mushrooms in here. You could put whatever you wanted in here, actually. Well, I can tell you though, the smell of that is amazing. Amazing. Now, I'm going to grab me some tin foil. Now, the key here with this is cook it fast and high. And I've got it on high, but it don't seem like it's cooking very high. But it is. It says it is. That's how I cook my deer meat. I cook it on high heat and cook it really fast and then take it off. Or if you don't, it will be like shoe leather. I'm just going to tell you. I love, love, love cooking this on the Blackstone. That's probably my favorite way to cook it. And I'm just going to tell you, I use every kind of cut of meat to do this. It don't have to be a certain cut. It don't have to be the tenderloin or the back strap or the, front quarter or whatever, the roast or the, it's just whatever I want to use. Whatever I have, that's what I use. I used to cut it up in all those different pieces, and it's like, I ain't doing that. That's too much work. Because it never seems to matter what I use. I have one dish I use my tenderloin for. I may make it sometime for you. It's really good, but you really need a tenderloin for it. I'm going to take this off and put it on here. And I'm going to get some of these little bits too. But we're going to need that for the next step. Then I'm going to get that off the fire so it stops cooking into my pan. Okay, now I'm going to cover this up and we're going to go to the next step. I got to open this turkey bone broth. Make sure my thing's down. Alright, now half a cup, that'd be about half of this. I'm going to put that in there and let that kind of get those little bits off of there. That's going to be so good. Okay, now comes the fun part. I'm just going to let that sit there for a minute, okay? Alright, I didn't have any big tomatoes out of the garden. I had them frozen. So I've got some little ones, and I'm just gonna put them in here, just a few, and I'm gonna just break the skins. Kind of making a mess. I just want to break the skins of these little ones. I don't want to. There's a stem on that one. Can you get off? It's flying everywhere. And I'm going to put this in my liquid. Okay? Alright, you guys remember what I said. You use what you got. And that's what I had. I've got tomato everywhere now. And then we'll save a few for garnishing that later. Okay, now we're going to take a medium-sized zucchini. Actually, we're going to take more than that. We're probably going to do... Now, these are the ones out of my garden. I'm going to do these two. Let me go wash them off real quick. Okay, now, I don't know if you have one of these or not. If you don't, you need to get you a zoodle maker, and I'll show you the one I have. I've had this one for years. That's the one I have, and I don't even remember where I got it. But I've had it for a long time. And it makes really good zoodles. Let me get a knife. Oh, I just wasn't very prepared, was I, for this video? Okay. Put that off a little more. So, I haven't used this in a while, so bear with me here. I'm going to stick it on here and into there. I'm going to push this down so it grabs hold of my table. And I think this is the one I want. You guys can't see it. You want them thin. Let me get a little plate. Let me get a plate for them. You want them thin so they'll cook. And they don't cook that long. See all them? They're like noodles. But they're Zoodles. They're called Zoodles, but they're just like noodles, and they're going to taste good. They taste a lot like noodles. Except I'm making a mess with them. All right, here we go. Okay, I'll clean that up in a minute, and we're going to go over here and we're going to cook these. Okay? Okay, now I'm going to turn this fire up a little bit. Okay, here we go. See all the seasonings in there and the little bits that I didn't get out? That's going to be good. So, I have a tomato seed on my hand. I got stuff everywhere, y'all. So you just put these in here like so. This looks like a bunch of noodles. Noodles. But they're Zoodles. Zucchini noodles. Okay? Now, I told you I'm going to put a little bit of this in here. We like a little bit of heat. Tim likes a little more than I do. But I like a little bit. So I put a little bit of cayenne in there. I'm going to put a little bit more of this. But other than that, I think there's plenty of seasonings. Okay, a little bit of garlic powder. Alright. Now, we're only going to cook these until they're barely tender. Okay, you don't want to get them too mushy. We're going to put a little more oregano. Let's give it a little bit of taste. Okay, I think that's going to be good. We'll let it cook on that side for a minute, and then we're going to get it up. Okay, we're gonna take this up. So I'm gonna undo my meat and get you up here where you can see. And I'm gonna take this meat, turn off the fire, or take these noodles, I mean. Sometimes I feel like they're just, you need to cut them. Or you can put your Zoodles down first, y'all, and then put your meat on top of it. It's up to you. However you want to do it. And I'll tell you what I do, what I like to do is get these, let me get a spoon. I like to get all this good stuff. And I like to get the juice off of it too. We'll do that in a minute. That is so good. I'll put the juice on there in a minute. I'm going to clean this plate up a little bit and I'll be right back. Okay, I'm done. I am done. I am going to put a little bit of that, some of the liquid that was in our pan. I'm going to put that right over, I'm going to put some of that liquid right over that. Ooh, that's going to be so good. Okay. Dinner is served. It is so good. Let's try it. I already know it's going to be good, but we're going to put some on the plate. I always have a knife by because if you don't cut your Zoodles up, they just go on forever and ever. I'm not kidding. I like some of that tomato too. And I garnished it with some more jalapenos. And like I said, you guys can garnish this with whatever you want. You can pretty much put whatever you want in it. Okay? I don't want to get too much on my plate because I got to eat with Tim. I probably just saved this plate so I can eat with Tim. Let's see. Let me cut. Oh, the meat is just tender as tender can be. Now remember, I used venison. Y'all can use beef. That looks good. The noodles is my favorite part, or the Zoodles, guys. They're Zoodles. They're zucchini noodles, and you make them out of your zucchini. This is going to be hot, so I gotta let it cool here a minute. I just took this, you know, off the stove. Let's see. Man, I'm just all kinds of tuckered out. I'm tired. I'm hot, and I'm tired. I'm gonna put him around there like that. I feel like I'm gonna need a napkin. Let me go get one. Okay. All right, let's try it. I could just sit here and eat this whole plate. I'm not even kidding. It is so good. And I love these noodles, Zoodles. So good. Okay. And put the recipe underneath this video, okay? Make sure you got some water with you. If you're gonna use some, I used jalapenos and put cayenne pepper in it. But it's good. It's not too hot, because you know there's a big amount. So it turned out so good, y'all. It always does. I really liked it. Okay. I'm gonna save this for when I eat with Tim. I'm sorry for talking with my mouth full. I'm just in a hurry. I'm gonna go ahead and get off here and get some stuff done, some more stuff done before this day's over, Lord willing. And I hope you like this. You'll have to go get you one of these if you don't have one now. I don't know if this is an old box, so I don't know if it comes in this box. It's called a Veggetti Pro. Veggetti. A vegetable spaghetti, I guess, Pro. And you can do a lot of different things with this. You can make curly fries with it. You can make coleslaw with it. Pastas, salads. You can make all kinds of stuff with it. I'm not like trying to sell anything here or anything. I'm just telling you. This is what I've had forever, and that's what I use for these. I wouldn't know what else to use to make them do that. They may have something new. You may have something else new that they use these days. I don't know. And so you won't have to worry about it. But for those that don't have one, you're just going to have to look it up and get you one. And hey, it's a great way to get rid of the zucchini out of your garden. And it's an excellent way. And it's a lot better for you than pasta, okay? You know, I like pasta too, but this is better for you, and it tastes just as good, if not better, okay? So try some of this, and if you don't have everything, use what you got, all right? Lord willing, I'll catch you guys on the next video. I love y'all. Bye.